Once I get these cabinets up this crazy driveway, I have Madison help me carry them into the pantry. I'm going to start the securing to the wall process with this cabinet because there's an outlet here. So I want to determine the placement of this cabinet, cut a hole in the back, and make sure that I do it right once because I'm not redoing the back. I put painter's tape on the countertop and wall to mark the left of that cabinet so that I would have a reference point to measure after I move it. Remove the receptacle cover and then measure the location of the receptacle and transfer those marks onto the back of my cabinet. Once I transfer the location of the receptacle box, I cut it out with a multi-tool and cross my fingers and hope I did it right. This is why I like to wrap receptacles in electrical tape, because you gotta kind of grab them. Of course the power's off. Grab it and pull it up through. Come on. There we go. So I got my two cabinets in place. I'm going to secure them together before I level. Okay, I need the whole right side to come up a bit. So, moment of truth. If my countertop were completely level, I should be able to set my cabinets on there and they should be level at least. They may not be plumb because the wall may not be plumb, but because of my fancy schmancy corner cabinet, I could not access the back corner at all. To shim up the countertop. So the countertop is not exactly level. It's slightly off. Just in this corner, it comes back a bit too much. This is what we call fiddle factor. Shim and check and recheck and shim again and recheck again. In addition to having to shim to get level, I had to do a little shimming in the back right corner to get the entire thing plumb. No biggie. Caulk is a girl's best friend. Okay. Now that these are secured, I can build the two small cabinets that will go on top of them. I'm going to build and attach these exactly the same way I did the small cabinet that went on top of the wine cabinet. Again, I'm using up wood from my scrap pile. Since these are painted cabinets, you won't see what kind of wood it is in the end. I went ahead and did all of the finish work in my workshop so that I could just take these in and install them. Although I did forget to put a bottom cleat on, and I need that so I have a way to attach the upper cabinets to the lower cabinets. Luckily, I already had the cleats cut because I had cut out some cleats that were sized perfectly for that little mishap I had. I may or may not end up cutting some more. Anyway, they worked out for me, and I installed the upper cabinets and started to install my face frame. So what I'm going to do is install the right face frame piece on this cabinet. I've already got it installed the left side on this cabinet, and then I'm going to decide how to put these together. After attaching the face frame to the narrow cabinet, I set it up next to the other bank of cabinets so I could measure the space behind the narrow cabinet and the wall. That was a tricky task because there's only 4 inches of space above the cabinet. I cut a couple angled blocks and nailed it to the wall. It had to be long because the stud, the only stud I could attach it to, was 8 inches away from the area where I actually needed the block. And I didn't get it exactly right because I had to put the cabinet in place and then move it and adjust the block, add some shims to the front and back of the block. I think I moved it 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times, but I finally got it. Hey you guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time with the next installment of this pantry build. I think I'm almost done. It's getting exciting. If you've missed any of the videos in the series, click on a thumbnail and check it out, or check out some of the other projects I've got going on in the house at the same time. I'm crazy. Until then,
Stay awesome.